Hey guys, welcome to the end of 2022. It's still here, still alive. Every year it surprises me just a little bit more. Eventually the odds, will catch up with me just like the odds usually catch up with everybody at some point. But yeah, so I'm still here. I did a video on, I think like Wednesday. It was a 2022 uh, recap of just my equipment because it was kind of a long video. For this one, I intend to cover the rest, unless it goes too long again. So what I have, I always do the same things every year. I do my year-end recap. I always used to do it for myself. And last year and this year, I'll throw something on YouTube as well, or I'll throw the video on YouTube as well. I don't want to make two different videos. Sounds like twice the work. After the equipment, I always cover how am I shooting physically? What is my physical style? It's been a big thing with me for the last 20 years. Is I'm always trying stuff and always switching physical styles. Anything from like a full out, Alex Pagulayan imitation to an Alan Hopkins just a short bridge component, or Piggy Banks has a really solid. And I like doing stuff like that. Usually when I try something new, or at least new for that time period, I usually shoot pretty well with it. I think it makes me concentrate. Something just changed, Dave, so you better concentrate. And then it usually falls apart and I'll go on to something else. I'm way beyond the point of going, oh, this is the way I'm going to shoot from now on. Secret of pool, whatever. I don't do that anymore. I quit doing that a long time ago. I think I kind of got tired of, essentially lying to myself. This year was really like no other, or like most others, I should say. That's what I meant to say. And that I just kept trying different things and having a good time, messing with different things. Here in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I'm kind of focusing on about 3 different styles. 2 of them, I keep coming back to them. And these are just my names that I call these things. One of them is called Dippy. And I started doing that a long time ago after I watched this Pool Hall Junkies movie. And Dippy works really well for banks for me. Doesn't work very well at all for one pocket. Another style that I've been doing quite a bit lately is called the Derby style. And that was in 2020. It just kind of just showed up, and I had one of the best bank pool tournaments of my life. Shooting wise, not finishing wise, but shooting wise. And that was cool. And then besides that, I've been concentrating really well the last maybe like week and a half. Don't have any idea why. But when I'm concentrating really well, I try to take advantage of it. And what I've kind of been doing these last couple of weeks is, I guess, trying to be a little bit more structured and disciplined and mechanical, to be frank, with my style. And this is absolutely not something that I could never make a ball if I couldn't concentrate with this particular thing. I could not do it. A lot of people could. A lot of people rely on good, solid mechanics. I haven't found that I'd be able to do that. So it'll keep fluctuating around, and that's just the way I am. I've often thought that maybe at some point all these different little physical elements that I keep messing with, eventually they'll all rise, the cream will rise to the top. Words are hard. And I'll have one thing that I can do. But I need one thing that works for bank shots and for straight in shots, like one pocket. One pocket has a lot more speed variations than bank shots do for me. I need one style that will work for both of the games that I enjoy to play the most. And I haven't found it yet, and I may not. I've thought quite a bit lately. I may end up with 2 different styles. I may end up with a bank pull style and a one pocket style. It sounds bad, but really 2 styles is better than a billion styles. I think we can probably agree on that. We'll just see. I don't know what's going to happen. I just hope it will continue to be fun for me to mess with different things. So that's my physical stuff that I'm doing. The next thing I always cover is, my mental game. There for a long time, I had a pretty short fuse as far as not temper, but I would kind of give up pretty quickly. If somebody had bad luck or good luck against me and I had bad luck, it wouldn't take very many times for me to say, fuck this game, and I started giving give up strokes they're called and things like that. Uh, I've worked on that quite a bit, and one of the things that I had to do, and I'm not proud of it, is I had to quit playing a guy that I used to play 4 or 5 times a week because of the luck. Everybody says, well, luck always evens out. Well, I played this guy for almost a decade, and luck never even came close to evening out. And I had to quit him. I had to quit playing the guy. And that almost immediately fixed my attitude. It had gotten to the point where I can do demonstrations. I had a table. Just give me a second. It had gotten to the point where it would take one incident of bad luck on my part or good luck on his part, and I'd want to quit pool. I wouldn't want to just quit the game or leave for the night or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm quitting pool. Never going to play pool ever again. That's not any fun to have that kind of attitude, and I knew it was never going to last. Usually by the time I got home, it would be fine. I usually do try to end the night down here by shooting well. But so let's go to break when we're playing one pocket, and it happened all the time. Everybody's going to think I'm exaggerating. But this is what would happen. That's his pocket. He would break, and he would do that and leave the kill right there. By luck. If somebody could do it by skill, what's their secret? But by luck, this kind of crap would happen. And it got old. Like I said, I had to quit the guy. And since then, my mental attitude has been very good. Always room for improvement. My concentration, again, very good. Again, always room for improvement. I'm a more stable individual pool playing wise now than I have been in my entire life, I think. And I hope that it keeps getting better because, as I just said, a little while ago, if I'm concentrating well, I feel like I could do just about anything physically and probably shoot pretty well with it. That's been the case. That's been the case for me so far. So the next thing I usually cover is, as a pool player, how do I compare to myself, from the past? And I'm talking about from a week ago and, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, whatever. Last year I stood up here and I did my recap, and I was kind of saying, if I met, my past self from let's say 2015, I think it would be a wash. It would be one guy that's just trying to just be Joe offense and run out all the time, and the present day me back then, 2021, would have been a little bit more cerebral and thinking and trying not to be quite so stupid. This year, I think it's a little bit more of the same. Except I do believe that myself right now would be any other version of me since about 1995 or 6. Mid 90s was my highlight, but it was 95%. I could just make anything I shot at. I didn't have to worry about this mental stuff and all that because I'm just going to just make the shot. Now I understand that's not going to happen for me anymore, and so I'm in theory using my brain and all that stuff more often, and I am making shots again now. When I'm concentrating, I'm making shots pretty well. Well, and I forgot when I was talking about the physical stuff. The last year I stood up here and I was in a lot of pain. My feet were killing me, especially my right foot. Well, that finally cleared itself up maybe about middle of February. And so now I'm fine now. My feet are fine. I had to get some special shoes. They look just like, you can't see them. They look just like regular shoes with some inserts and all that. And so everything's fine as far as that goes. My eyes have not gotten any worse. About the same as they have been for the last several years. I don't have an overlap, but I guess I'm getting used to it a little bit. The only physical issue that I have going on right now that I'm aware of is I did something with my thumb. And, I don't know if this could even work, but it was about the time that I got this Tascarilla. This Tascarilla is a little bit skinnier in the butt section where I grab it than my Southwest, which I've been using before. And that's just because of the timing of it. I'm just thinking that's just changing where my thumb is gripping the butt of the cue just enough to where it hurts. And it's been several months now that it's been like this. If I shoot hard, if I have to shoot a shot hard, I kind of know it's going to hurt if I have to shoot a shot hard. I did experiment for quite a while with gripping the cue like this with my thumb outside. And I can do okay with that, but if I have to shoot hard, I feel like I'm going to throw my cue across the room, which I don't really want to do that. So I'm just dealing with it. It hasn't gotten any worse, but it hasn't gotten any better either. And maybe, a lot of people knock Earl Strickland for all of his gadgets and doohickeys and ass weights and all the stuff that he's always had. I kind of like that. He's not afraid to try shit. He doesn't care if somebody's going to laugh at him or not. He's gonna try shit. One of the things that he did was he changed his grip to be a lot thicker. There's a natural position for a hand, natural amount of openness for a hand. This is unnatural. I'm having to do something to do this. This is unnatural. But there's a natural position, and that's what Earl changed the butt of his cue to be. He wrapped it up with whatever he wrapped it up with. So he's not doing that. He's not having. If I had a much thicker grip, and not as big around as like a Coke can, but still a couple inches, I don't think I would have this thumb problem. I might have other problems, but I don't think I have the thumb problem. Anyway, there's that. So that was just some of the stuff I forgot about the physical stuff. I don't have as many physical problems this year as I had last year. Of course, as time goes by, I'm expecting to get more and more and more of them until eventually I may not even be able to play anymore. The other thing that I always cover, the last thing I always cover after I compare myself to myself from the past is what if any goals do I have for the coming year. So last year I didn't really have any, just keep trying to improve. Keep doing what you're doing and keep trying to improve. And that's certainly a goal for 2023 for me. But something else that I've been thinking about a lot is I used to play, well, as I mentioned, I used to play against other humans 4 or 5 days a week. Part of this was had to go into an office at work, and then I would stop at the pool hall on the way home. Don't have to go into an office at work anymore. Part of it was because of that. Part of it was the whole pandemic thing made some people not want to go out as much anymore. I guess I'm probably in that camp. Some people quit me. They got frankly tired of losing. I quit some people. I quit one person because of the luck thing I was talking about. So, whereas in the past 4 or 5 days a week I'm playing against another human, this year honestly, I bet I'm averaging once a month I'm doing it. That's not nearly enough. And I don't think it's enough to be able to learn new things that I might pick up from an opponent or whatever. It's not enough to be able to deal with whatever pressure might show up, anything at all. Plus it's not as fun. I like hanging out with pool players. So like I went to New Orleans and spent 5 days playing pool almost nonstop against other people. I like doing stuff like that. Then I come back home and work pressures. I'm working 60, 70 hours a week. And when I do finally get off work, if I do, I just don't feel like going anywhere. I don't feel like going out. I just come down here and I hit some balls around. And this is fun for me. I do enjoy it, but sometimes you want a little bit of human contact on the pool table. I want to be able to do that. And frankly, sometimes I kind of want to test myself. Hey, I think I'm shooting pretty well. I should go find out against another good player. Is it all in my head, or am I really and truly improving? Um, so one of my goals for 2023 is just try to rectify that a little bit. Try to get out more often. There are some little tournaments around this area that I could go to. I've gone to a couple of them. And usually the problem is they last until like 1 a.m. and I have to get up at 5 a.m. to work. But that doesn't mean I can't do it every now and then. Just to go and just, like I said, be around other pool players and shoot against other pool players. You know, measure myself against other pool players. I want to kind of rectify that. I've always got Derby City Classic in January. Looks like I'm going to keep having my New Orleans vacation in the summer, but I get a lot more vacation days than just that. You know, there's a big tournament in Cincinnati in every spring at Michaels. Maybe I could go play in that. I'm not talking about I'm going to go and I'm going to win, I'm going to get money. It's get some competition besides, you know, me and the Ghost, or me versus my cat Waterloo or whatever. Or hell, even me and this one guy that still plays me at my local pool hall. Play some different people. And it would be fun, and it would help. And so if I have a goal for 2023, besides just try to keep continually improving, that's my goal, is get out there a little bit more. Leave my basement every now and then and go play pool against another human being. You know, I have to put on pants and all that, and do it because it's fun, and I've always enjoyed it. I've almost always enjoyed it when I was done with it, and almost always been glad I did it, and I almost always thought I just learned something from that. And this is what I want to do. I want to keep learning stuff. So that is my 2022 year-end review. The other video was about equipment, and I'll put a link to that if I remember. And this is about everything else. I can't think of anything else that I want to say. I gotta go to a thing, and I'm gonna go to the thing, and I'm gonna dread it until I get there, and then it'll be fun. It's just like last year. It's the same deal as last year, but we shall see. And I hope everybody watching this and everybody that doesn't watch this has a great 2023. Bye.